for Change, and that is Nelson Chamisa. And we know that Citizens Coalition for Change initially started as the slogan Chamisa Chete Chete. It was transformed into a political movement when MTC was along the lines lost by Nelson Chamisa. He had to try for the second time to build his own political party, the very same political party that Emerson Mnangagwa, noticing that Nelson Chamisa was equally a threat to him, began to launch his downfall through the introduction of Sengezo Chabangu. In spite of Emerson Mnangagwa signing CAB 3 into law, Nelson Chamisa is optimistic that Zimbabweans should not be worried, saying it is almost about to be morning, and the people of Zimbabwe should not be worried at all. That is what Nelson Chamisa has said, noting that very soon he would be announcing some program of action as an individual that was also voted by the people of Zimbabwe. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's listen to the voice of Nelson Chamisa addressing the people of Zimbabwe.
My Zimbabwe fellow citizens, the citizens of Zimbabwe, I come to you with this very short message. I've had a lot of concerns, worries, questions from across the length and breadth of our country, even from the diaspora, about the direction that the country should take. Men are concerned. I know Mdarandi Tindakatorara Nebutsu Nezuro ndanzwa kuti uya wasaina ndikati chimbomirai musavhunduka nokuti kurongwa kwazvo ndikokuti zvaari kuita izvi Nebukadineza anofana kutanga ambofura sora kana afura sora mobva maziva kuti chiratidzo chechire chaakuuya kana chikamu chaakuuya saka tichazodzoka hangu muzvikamu mukupfavire ngoma usiku urefu. Hatigoni kumhanya hongu, tiri kutambudzika, tiri kushupika, tiri mugwenga, nhamo yatigara madunduru, asi ngatinzwisisei kuti panoda chimiro chakanaka chekunzwisisa. Saka ndichauya pagurupu panapa munguva dzekutevera idzodzi ndozokuzivisa kuti rini, asi ndichitaurawo muonero wangu somumwe wenyu aneonawo, somumwe wenyu wamakapa ngati rutsigiro rwakati wandei. Haisi nyore kutsigira kwamakaita kubva kumashure okuti navatsvangirai nepatava. Ndinotenda nerutsigiro rwovo uye handizokunyadzisei kana kukusiyai makadaro kana kuti
it's the network. So Nelson,
to betray or let you down. Tokuziva zviri kuitika, nyika ndeyepi, takaibata nyika iyi, tinoigadzira nyika iyi. Zviri kuitwa navari kuita kuratidza kutya, vari kutotivhunduka, vari kutya, ndosaka muchifana kunge makasimba. Saka ndichadzoka, Mwari wakuita zvakanaka. God is in it. Thank you.
So Nelson Chamisa still using his slogan that God is in it, saying to the people of Zimbabwe they should not be worried. He says he actually uses a biblical allusion of Nebuchadnezzar, saying Emerson Mnangagwa has to first of all eat the grass before he is dealt with, telling the people of Zimbabwe that he will not betray the struggle, and also thanking the people of Zimbabwe for supporting him during the days of Morgan Tsvangirai up to date, indicating that he has never betrayed Morgan Tsvangirai worked with him until the last day, and also indicating that he still stood from the MDC, which had the initial leader, Morgan Tsvangirai, until his departure from this world. So he says he will come back to the group. I think this was sent to the groups of Nelson Chamisa, that he will come back to the groups to update Zimbabweans about the way forward. Also castigating the narrative that he slept with the boots on, saying, no, I did not sleep with the boots on, a symbolism of someone who is stressed. You know, some people, when they are stressed, we hear that they sleep without removing. They go to bed without taking off their shoes because of what is currently politically unfolding in Zimbabwe. Nelson Chamisa is of the firm view that there would be a solution to this. So he announced to the people of Zimbabwe that very soon the program of action to counter Emerson Mnangagwa would be unveiled. We wait to see what exactly Nelson Chamisa has in store at this critical moment. I think as much as he hasn't joined other opposition political leaders to form a grand coalition, Nelson Chamisa still believes Mnangagwa can be defeated, and he says God is in it, which means God is part of the process that Zimbabweans are going through at this particular moment. So he is actually giving hope to the people. We know Nelson Chamisa has been good, especially in terms of giving hope to the people of Zimbabwe. But I've heard the critics saying, what plan do you have? I think also it should be emphasized that the burden of freeing Zimbabwe at the moment, or the burden of standing up and deal with this problem, should not be placed on one person. This is a matter of national interest. As long as Zimbabweans are looking for one person that would save them, that would never actually find the light of the day. It is the duty and the task of each and every Zimbabwean at this crucial moment to stand up. Even the Blessed Geza revolution requires the people of Zimbabwe to stand up together and fight against Emerson Mnangagwa. It requires unity, especially to the progressive forces, speaking with one voice, fighting on the same trench against Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is not bigger than the people of Zimbabwe united. I can tell you that at the moment they know that the people of Zimbabwe, there is high probability they may stand up, and they are preparing to arrest as much as possible political activists in an effort to try and thwart opposition to this illegal and unconstitutional and unprogressive constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026. So Nelson Chamisa coming through saying Mnangagwa has to eat grass before his end. Quite a really tough statement. I have said it that I don't know who exactly will free the people of Zimbabwe, but it's not an individual. It should be a collective effort. I guess God had to actually make Zimbabwe to undergo through this process. I think it is God now which is dealing with the situation, because people have suffered. When people are losing hope on who exactly will serve them, that's where God actually bring the solution. There will be a solution to this. This situation cannot continue going on like this. Our people have suffered enough. We need a country that works, and we need a country that works for all the people. It's not the time for people to criticize each other. It's the time for people to unite, because the enemy thrives when people focus on petty discussions, sometimes running the counterintelligence of the enemy. The enemy of Zimbabwe at the moment is Mr. Jones, that is Emmerson Mnangagwa, and everyone have to confront the enemy of the people of Zimbabwe head on to make this country work and work for us all. The situation at its current state, I must say, it is unbearable, and it requires me and you to stand together. I know the people of Zimbabwe, some are saying Nelson Chamisa was supposed to support Blessed Geza. But the question is, there are people who stood up during the Blessed Geza revolution. Some, they were arrested. Even if Nelson Chamisa said people go to the streets, we saw the military also doing nothing at that moment in time. The question is, should really people focus on blaming one person? And I see some saying Chiwenga is taking us for a ride. I think God is actually making this thing well, because this thing doesn't have to be about any individual. It has proven beyond reasonable doubt that the politics of trusting an individual to be a messiah for the nation has failed drastically. At the moment, Zimbabweans as a collective needs to stand together and confront Emmerson Mnangagwa head on. There is no power that can surpass or defeat a united people. Each and every leader, be it Nelson Chamisa, be it retired General Chiwenga, requires an active citizenry, requires Zimbabweans that will stand up in unison against Emmerson Mnangagwa, standing up from Bulawayo, in Makokoba, in Entumbane, in Kwabalanda, in Country Park, in Mganwini, standing up in Tsibalasekwa, Harare, Chitungwiza, people standing up, Chitungwiza Extension, wherever, Msasa, people standing up across the country, in Gweru, in Masasa, people standing up in Mutare, that is Manicaland, people standing up in Mashonaland, East, West, all parts of Zimbabwe, saying enough is enough. It doesn't have to be a one-man show. It has to be the struggle for the people. It has to be about the people. It has never been about the people of Zimbabwe. It has been about an individual. That is why CAP 3 was centered around Emmerson Mnangagwa. The moment we get rid of actually a politics of idolatry, that's when things will begin to work well for the people of Zimbabwe. So Nelson Chamisa, at this moment, we need hope. Hope is needed to the people of Zimbabwe, because they are slowly losing hope. Hope is needed that there will definitely be a change, and the power rests within the people of Zimbabwe. We can't give Emmerson Mnangagwa that satisfaction that he has won. That's the impression they are trying to give, that CAP 3 is a done deal. Zimbabweans should use whatever medium to indicate that CAP 3 is still not a done deal. And I strongly believe it is still 2028 is still too far. That signature is not a guarantee that Mnangagwa will be there in 2028. Mark, thank you much this. I keep on saying this. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can also press the thanks button and send us stars. Okanqobo is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast, definitely.